This is OwlUp, where learning happens in minutes, not hours. For a deeper journey, explore all our courses at owlup.co. Now, let's dive in. Welcome to Chapter 3 of Launch an AI-First Company, where we're diving into the art of building a business strategy that puts AI at the heart of everything you do. Today, we'll walk through how to craft a game plan that doesn't just bolt AI onto your existing ideas, but actually reimagines your entire approach around what artificial intelligence makes possible. Let's get into it. Most companies say they're doing AI, yet only a small fraction see real profit from it. In one firm, a single AI feature quietly became their top revenue engine. In another, dozens of pilots went nowhere. What actually separates those two paths? That's where we're going today. Only 11% of firms report meaningful financial returns from their AI efforts. Yet a smaller subset inside that group consistently turns experiments into durable advantage. The difference is rarely a better model. It's that they design the business around AI from the start, instead of sprinkling AI on top of existing plans. In this episode, we shift from asking, where can we use AI, to how does AI reshape what winning looks like for us? We'll connect use cases directly to revenue, margin, and risk goals, and we'll treat data, MLOps, and governance as core infrastructure, not IT chores. Think of a coach redrawing the playbook once a star player joins the team. You don't just insert them into old tactics, you redesign how the whole team plays. Some companies now treat AI as the default way they design products, prices, and processes, not as a late-stage enhancement. That shift forces a harder question. If AI becomes your first draft for decisions, what becomes non-negotiable in how you plan and operate? This is where strategy meets constraints. You'll need sharper choices about which problems deserve scarce data, experimentation, and talent. You'll also need to accept that some familiar metrics and planning cycles break down when models constantly learn and update. In this episode, we'll lean into that tension and make it usable. A useful way to pressure test an AI-first strategy is to ask, if we had to prove this created net new value in 12 months, what would have to be true? That question forces you out of generic AI ambition and into concrete design choices. Start with the business levers you actually control: price, volume, cost to serve, risk, and capital efficiency. For each, ask where prediction or generation could structurally change the curve, not just shave a few percentage points. Dynamic pricing that adapts to microsegments is different from a one-time discount rule. Automated claim triage that rewrites workflows is different from a dashboard that suggests flags. Then, map those high-leverage bets to data you reliably own or can access. Many strategies die because they depend on future data hygiene. Instead, constrain yourself. If you could only pick 3 data domains to make world-class in the next year: customer behavior, supply chain events, product telemetry, financial signals, what would they be, and which bets do they unlock? Scarcity here is a feature, not a bug. It keeps the strategy from becoming a wish list. You'll also need to decide where human judgment must stay in the loop. Not every decision should be automated, and not every model needs millisecond latency. Some choices are better framed as AI drafts, human edits. Others as AI screens, human approves. Spell those boundaries out early, because they shape your risk posture, staffing, and tooling. Treat models themselves as evolving products, not projects. That means roadmaps, versioning, user feedback, and lifecycle decisions. When to retire a model, when to fork it for a new segment, when to accept a short-term accuracy hit to gain interpretability or fairness. Finally, assume your first set of bets will be half wrong. An AI-first strategy isn't a perfectly forecasted portfolio. It's a system for updating your portfolio quickly. The real advantage comes from how fast you can learn which use cases deserve more data, more engineering, and more leadership attention, and which should quietly be shut down. A retailer decides they want AI first, but instead of starting with a catalog of models, they narrow in on one stubborn metric: repeat purchase rate in their top 3 categories. From there, they outline 2 concrete bets. 1. Personalize post-purchase nudges to reduce time to second order, and 2. Predict which customers are at risk of churning after a return. Suddenly, AI first isn't abstract. It's anchored to a number the CFO already cares about. A B2B SaaS startup does something similar around gross margin. They design an onboarding flow where an assistant drafts configurations based on a brief interview with the buyer. Faster time to value shows up as lower support tickets per account and higher expansion 6 months later. Designing this way is closer to a sports coach planning plays around specific game situations, 3rd and long, last 2 minutes, than writing a generic, "We'll play harder" manifesto. Your challenge this week: pick one revenue or cost metric, then sketch 2 AI-enabled moves that could bend its curve within 12 months. Don't worry about models yet. Focus on where better prediction or generation would materially change the outcome, and write down what data, workflows, and human roles would need to shift for each move. Treat it as a design sprint, not a commitment. Next episode, we'll turn those sketches into a prioritized roadmap and define what good enough to ship looks like for your first AI native feature, so you can move from ideas to live experiments without stalling in perfectionism. Leaders who treat this as a one-off roadmap will plateau. Those who treat it as a living system will keep compounding advantages. As new models, data sources, and regulations emerge, your strategy should behave less like a fixed blueprint and more like a navigational app, constantly rerouting based on fresh signals, constraints, and opportunities. Over time, the real moat becomes your organization's reflex to redesign products, pricing, and processes the moment better capabilities appear. Treat this strategy like a studio's release slate. You're betting on a few tentpole features, a handful of risky indies, and you're ready to cancel what's not testing well. Over time, patterns in your hits and flops will quietly rewrite how you choose markets, design offerings, and even hire, long before your competitors notice the genre has changed. Before next week, ask yourself: 1. If I had to redesign one core workflow in my business to be AI first tomorrow, for example, lead qualification, customer support triage, or inventory forecasting, which one would move the needle most, and what data do I already have that an AI model could use? 2. Where are my people currently acting as manual APIs, copying data between tools, answering the same questions repeatedly, or doing rule-based reviews? And how could I turn one of those into an AI-powered, self-serve experience for customers or internal teams? 3. What is one specific, measurable outcome I want from AI in the next 90 days, such as reducing response time by 30% or increasing upsell conversion by 5%? And which AI tool or prototype experiment could I spin up this week to start testing that? This was OwlUp, your daily step forward. This series continues with more chapters on OwlUp.co. Visit OwlUp.co to access the complete course and continue your learning journey. See you there!